I would love to hear how you transitioned from being an employee to an entrepreneur. What was that journey?
Well, it wasn't an easy journey. It just was me. I was in a nonprofit as a program coordinator for about 7 years, and there really was no upward mobility anywhere else that I wanted to go. So I was just really frustrated and feeling empty, like just hopeless, right? And I just went to one event. I totally fell in love, and that discovered my passion. But I did it kind of backwards because I kind of just jumped in entrepreneurship. I didn't have a plan. I just was lit up by this thing that I can now do, or at least I thought I could, right? And I just left. I didn't, I just, my passion was that big. I just left with no plan. And that's when things got scary. But it was something about me I believed in, like, you can do it. I don't know how you're going to do it, but you can do it. So that pretty much started my journey.
It was a literal leap of faith.
Yeah, a tiny mustard seed.
There you go. And I love that. That's so courageous. And you know, there's so many stories out there of people are like, you know, keep your 9 to 5 and do your hustle on the side. And that's smart. And when we're frustrated in our jobs, and I've been there too, and you just can see this other path that you're being led on, it's like, it's so hard to not just go all in. And I did the same thing. I just went all in and didn't know what I was doing. And I hear this over and over again, and people don't know what they're doing and they just go all in, and it's fabulous.
Yeah.
And they need business coaches like you and me that can help them figure it out, because we've been there and done that.
Right. Absolutely.
Yeah, for sure. Well, this is the Fearless Climbers Business Show, and I am your business coach and host, Kathleen Reese Jubenville. Today, I am talking with Precious Stevens, also known as the Draping Queen because of her first business. She's now CEO of the Posh Academy and branching out into business coaching. And Precious, I want to thank you for being here today.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me. I'm so excited to just share with your audience.
Oh, it's my pleasure. And so what we're going to do first as an exercise, it's going to do two things for our audiences. One is we're going to go through an exercise that's going to create your marketing message as we're talking. And so people are going to get to hear how to create their marketing message with a series of questions, and they're going to get to know you and what you do at the same time. So you ready to so you ready for this crazy idea here?
Absolutely.
Okay, great. So Precious, the first question is, who is your ideal client? I know that you can take and help lots of people, but it's so hard for people to just narrow down and say, what is the ideal client? But who is your ideal client, Precious?
So my ideal client name is Kim, and she is an existing business owner, but she wants more, right? It's like she wants to take her business to the next level, but she just doesn't know how. She's been in business. She's between 45 and 55. And she's just ready to rock out to the next level.
Oh my gosh, Precious, that's so clear. I love the clarity of that. You even named her.
Yeah, she got a name.
That's awesome.
I'm just looking for thousands more of Kims.
There's probably a lot of them out there.
Right.
Awesome. And billions of people in the world. What is the biggest problem that you help Kim solve?
So Kim feel unfulfilled in her business. She can't figure it out. She want to get to that next level, but she just don't know how to. She tried everything and pretty much at the frustrated point. That's pretty much it. She's been in business between anywhere from 5 to 8 years, and she's just ready to give it up and just get help, right? Finally get help, which is why I don't work with new business owners, because they got to go through the rhythm of figuring it out and trying to do everything by themselves.
Yes.
So with Kim, she's already tried everything. So she knows that she got to come and see me.
She needs that next level. And so I heard you saying, which is the next piece of it, is defining how their problems are making them feel. So I heard you say frustrated. What are some other things you mentioned, Precious?
Frustrated, unfulfilled, overworked, underbooked. They're wearing all the hats in their business. It's affecting their home life. It's affecting everything, even their health, right? It just goes to branch out in so many different areas of your life. And then before you know it, some of them are even considering going back to work, which is why I'm super passionate, because operate in your gift. That is where the real passion and fulfillment is.
Yes, yes. And, there's a lifestyle that entrepreneurs enjoy. It's really
Yeah.
hard to go back to a job after
Right.
we've had control of our time and our creative endeavors. It's hard to go back and it's
Right.
heartbreaking. There's times when it's appropriate, but it's also heartbreaking when you have to do it. So gosh,
Yeah.
Precious, that's such a tremendous, service that you provide for people to help them, get to that next level in their business. I
Yeah.
love that. Why is it not fair that they have these problems after all these years?
Well, I feel it's not fair because it's something that's kind of in us. We tend to think of things based on our past traumatic experiences. So sometimes we do think that we're not good enough. We do think that we're not deserving of a high ticket offer. We do believe no one's going to pay us. And that is like the furthest thing from the truth. And I think it's just unfair because the life that you desire or the one that you think you'll never achieve is on the opposite side of mindset.
Gosh, Precious, I love that you talked about mindset. I thought you were going to say something about delegation and systems, which are all important, but the mindset, yes, you are so right. That is fabulous. So how do you work with them and help them solve their problems and their mindset issues? What is it that you do?
So initially, that is like the very first thing, no matter what program or what I'm helping them solve specifically, we always start with mindset because until you go and undo how you're trained to think, you're still going to hit those roadblocks no matter what it is you're trying to do. Like we could work on trying to develop a course, but if you really feel like no one's going to buy it at that level or you're not smart enough, you're not good enough, we're never going to get done. So we always do the 3-step framework that I provide, just breaking that down, going all the way back to the beginning and talking to that inner child, right? That inner child and finding out where's these fears coming from? How is your relationship with money? That's very important. So from there, we kind of just start scaling out based on individually what you need.
That's fabulous. And it sounds like you may have gone through some of this journey yourself. The next question of creating a marketing message is what qualifies you to help solve their problem. Sounds like you can relate to some of these problems.
Yes. And I think that's why I'm so passionate about it, because that was me. And so I know that who I serve is an earlier version of myself. So I know exactly what it feels like to be scared to show up. I know exactly what it is to feel like you're even scared to sell your services, right? I know how all those past traumatic experiences really block your blessings and it really stunts the growth of your business. And also on my journey, and it's only been 4 years, but I've been able to build a tribe that have seen my journey because I'm so transparent. So I'm qualified because they've seen me go to that $14 an hour paying job to now generating over 7 figures in my business. So that's why I'm qualified, because I've done the work.
Oh my gosh, congratulations, Precious.
Thank you.
that not many people achieve that. And a lot of times it's because they don't have help. But what would you say was the biggest breakthrough you had that got you past? Because there's probably some stuck point before you hit that 7 figures. What was that breakthrough? I know it's hard to pinpoint one, but what's off the top of your head?
The main breakthrough was I had to understand that I was in my own way, and I didn't understand, coming from a poverty driven mindset. I wasn't quick to invest. I wasn't quick to pay for the thing that I didn't know to help me grow. And then once I was able to change that is how I was able to skyrocket, because I don't have time to try and figure this thing out. I want to go to the best, have them teach me, have them coach me, and also just retraining my brain and how to think. Right now, it's like everything is possible, and my tagline is anything's possible, and I really believe that.
And just so everybody knows, tell them where the posh and the draping queen came from.
Man, so my first initial business, and that's the one that flunked or it didn't grow like I wanted, it was in event design. I got into event planning and I found out I didn't like it, but I discovered the one thing I did love, which was draping. But when I was trying to take it to the next level, there were no resources really, other than the big schools that they kind of had the market cornered. You had to pay a lot of money for new business owners at that time. To me, it was a lot of money. So I did not invest, right? I stuck with the YouTube, the DIY, trying to figure it out, and I just could not achieve the look I was looking for. So long story short, I was kind of forced to go to the big schools. I went with a plan that I wanted to help thousands of others that was in my situation. So I just accumulated all this knowledge, came up with my own strategies, my own techniques, and I developed the Posh Academy, which is where I teach them, event designers, how to take their draping to the next level. And it just gained so much success and traction. They was the one that gave me that name. So at first I was like, no, but then I owned it. I was like, yes, I'm proud of the work I was able to do. So that's how I got that.
And just to clarify for everybody, because I had no idea when we were first talking, draping is the fabric behind the speakers at the events, right?
Kind of give you a visual. Yes, this is my book. So that is a backdrop, premium draping backdrop. And I teach people how to design that, but in a premium way so that they can get paid a premium price tag.
Nice. So I hear you saying they can reach out to you if they need some help with their draping at events and to get that mindset coaching to take their business to the next level. The two kinds of people here that you can really help, it sounds like.
Yeah, because I was helping with the skill set side. It was still missing pieces. Like I can teach you how to design it, but now you're still having trouble selling it. Yeah. So then that is how the coaching aspect came. I didn't want to just teach you how to design this thing like, all right, you're off to the world. It's like, no, come back. Now let me teach you how to market it, how to price it, how to reach the people that's going to pay for it. So here I am.
Ah, that's fabulous. And that is such a typical problem that I found that coaches and consultants have is that they can learn the skill set even through a certification or education or experience. And then but they don't know how to market and sell it.
Right.
And that's the biggest problem. So, and it's also the least fun for them a lot of times. So again, getting around that mindset to know that this is part of the job that they're going to have to do. They're going to have to learn that.
Yeah.
So the last question is, what is your best piece of advice for a new business owner?
Wow. My best piece of advice for a new business owner is, for one, have a vision. If you don't know where you want to go, no one's going to help you be able to get there. So have a vision is key. I think if I had a vision in the very beginning, a lot of those things wouldn't have happened, but I didn't know what I wanted to do. I was trying to figure it out. So have a vision and then connect the support that's going to help support that vision. That'll save you a ton of time.
Yes. And ultimately money. You know, you spend money for a coach like one of us, but then if you don't spend the money with a coach, then you're going to spend all that time and lost money from clients because you didn't know what you were doing and trying to figure it out on your own. Exactly. I love that you mentioned trying to figure it out on YouTube, and you don't, when you're doing that, you don't even know what questions to ask, right? Like, how are you going to search for it if you don't even know what to ask?
That is so true. So true. But yeah, have that vision in place and don't be scared to invest, because at the end of the day, that is all you're doing. You're really paying for the thing you don't know to help you grow. Because if you knew how to get there, you would be there.
It sounds so easy.
It does. So that's my superpower. I take things that seem complicated and I simplify it.
Oh my gosh, Precious, that's fabulous. And so for people who would love to talk with you and get some simplification like that, what should the audience do to connect with you, Precious? Where would you like them to go?
They can go directly to my website, which is www.preciousstevens.com. And I have a 28-point business audit checklist waiting just for you to find out those bottlenecks in your business. And once you kind of button those up, guess what? It'll be so much more streamlined and you'll be such a happier business owner and be able to operate in that space.
Love it. Well, Precious, thank you so much for being here today. It's been a pleasure talking with you and getting to know you better.
Thank you, Kathleen.
And so then be sure to follow or subscribe so you don't miss any of our small business success strategies, and click on the links below for more helpful free resources. Thanks so much.